all of you. Welcome back to my class. My name is Jyoti and you are watching GG Chemistry. So students, today we are going to solve some problems related to lithium diisopropyl amide reagent. We will learn the mechanism, the uses of this LDA, and will solve the problems related to it, and will also learn the concept. For that, do subscribe my channel, press the bell icon, do like it and share it with your friends. So let's start. LDA. Okay, so first of all, what is LDA? Lithium diisopropyl. As you can see here, the structure I have drawn. This isopropyl means you have two isopropyl groups you can draw in this three-dimensional structure, and amide, so you have nitrogen, lithium, so lithium carries a positive charge and nitrogen carries a negative charge. So lithium diisopropyl amide, the structure is here, and we will see the role of this reagent. It is a strong base, and what is the role of this base? It abstracts the less acidic proton. Usually whatever base we take, NaOH, KOH, all these bases abstract the most acidic protons, but the utility of this LDA is whenever you want to do the alkylation or reaction to occur on the less acidic proton side, you have to use a strong base like LDA. Okay, so it is a strong base, abstract the less acidic proton. Therefore, it brings about the alkylation, hydroxylation to ketones, esters, acids or nitrites. Okay, so we will see the example and understand the properties of it. So you can see here, as it is acidic group here, so as I told you, it brings the alkylation and acylation, hydroxylation to ketone ester acids. So this is acid here. The LDA is given to you, and we know it is the role of LDA is a base, and the base abstract the proton. Here it abstract the less acidic proton. So if you notice here, the carboxylic hydrogen is most acidic, so which can easily remove its proton. Okay, most acidic means the easily you can remove the proton. So this proton it will not remove. Either the CSC proton, which is less acidic, it will abstract this proton from here. So you will get a carbon ion with the help of this LDA on CH3. And then another reagent is given to you, methyl iodide, for alkylation. So this carbon ion will attack from the SN2 mechanism backside, and the methylation will occur on this, and you will get this as a product. Okay, so the helpful or the uses of this LDA is the alkylation or the other reaction which I told you on the less acidic proton. We will see many reactions today and clear our concept about it. Now you can notice here we have a ketone which is asymmetrical, right? And usually we say like the alkylation or hydroxylation occur to carbonyl compound. So the usually it occur on the alpha carbon. What is alpha carbon? The carbons which are next to the carbonyl group here, okay, are called alpha carbon. So this CH2 and the terminal CH3 is alpha. Now we have to compare from which position this LDA will extract the proton. So for that we need to find out the less acidic proton. So less acidic, if you notice that CH2 here, it is less acidic proton as compared to the terminal CH3, because you have near to the CH2 a CH3 which is having the plus I effect. So the carbon ion which will form after LDA attack will be destabilized, right, with the plus I effect, because already it is having the electron and it is also giving its electron. So destabilize it. While here, though it is having the resonance here with this carbonyl, but plus I effect is there. So as compared to the CH3, again this carbon ion which is going to form will be in resonance, will be stable. Okay, so if you compare the two, the CH2 hydrogen is less acidic. So once we find the less acidic proton, the carbon ion you are supposed to form on that carbon. And now you can see, since conjugation possibility is there, this CH negative charge will give its electron to CC bond, followed by the C double bond O, and the oxygen gets a better negative charge. So if you compare carbon bearing a negative charge or oxygen bearing a negative charge, the oxygen carries a negative charge better. So the enolate. Okay, so you can notice it is a enolate. This structure where you have C double bond C, CO minus is called enolate. So enolate existence will be usually more, but our reaction will occur always from carbon. Okay, so followed by, you can see the alkylating agent is given. So the oxygen will give its back electron to the CO bond, and followed by the CH again will attack from the backside SN2 mechanism and will do the alkylation on this alpha position. Okay, you can also write this structure in this form if the MCQ questions are given. So this type of structure you may get for this reaction. Clear? So less acidic we have to keep in our mind, and always the reaction will occur from carbon, not from oxygen here. Okay, so the alkylation will occur on the alpha carbon. We'll see the next reaction here. You can notice that you have a cyclohexanol on one alpha position, one methyl group is there, and other is free CH2. Okay, and LDA is given. Now we need to decide this LDA where and which position it will attack. Okay, both the positions are there. If you notice this CH3, then you might see that you might assume that this is the less acidic proton, right? Because the plus I effect is there of this methyl, while here this carbon ion will be stabilized by this carbonyl group and will be in conjugation, will be more stable, also more acidic. But one point, lithium diisopropyl amide is a bulky reagent. Two isopropyl group is there, so it will always prefer to attack from the less hindered side. Okay, so this is the less hindered side. Here CH3 3 hydrogens of this methyl group will cause the steric hindrance. So the lithium diisopropyl will not attack from this side, rather it will attack from the less hindered side. Okay, so the carbonyl will abstract from this CH2, so the enolate will form on the less hindered side. Okay, so you will get this O minus lithium plus. This is your enolate. Now whatever alkylating agent is given to you, the oxygen charge will come back and the carbon will attack to the here CH2 and removal of Br. So it will be loss of lithium bromide here, and you will get the product. Okay, and if they want, they ask you, so this is called the kinetically controlled product, because basically you were supposed to get the reaction on the this carbon where the methyl is attached, but you are getting on the other side. So kinetically controlled product. And if they ask you the stereochemistry also, you can show, if you assume methyl as above the plane, then you can assume the CH2 pH is down the plane. So the two should be opposite to each other, so that they avoid the steric crowding. Okay, on the other side, if you have NaOH and with the same alkylating agent, the reaction will occur on the methyl carbon and you will get the thermodynamically controlled product. Okay, thermodynamically controlled product. So whenever this NaOH and LDA conditions are given, you have to be careful. In this particular case, you have to keep in your mind that LDA, being a bulky reagent, will always attack from the less hindered side. Okay, and the conventionally the other bases will abstract the proton from the same hydrogen. Okay, so from here, okay, the you can say this CH2pH, okay, from the position where the CH3 is attached. So this you have to keep in your mind, and this is the rule which I have already mentioned here. Due to the presence of two isopropyl group, LDA is bulky reagent, attack from the less hindered side. So it is a strong base, but it is a weak nucleophile. Okay, so this example proves that it is a weak nucleophile. Now, if this kind of reaction is given to you, you can notice between the two carbonyl group you have CH2. Okay, protons are there, which definitely are more acidic, because the abstraction of the proton from here easily stabilized by two carbonyl group. Okay, so definitely more acidic as compared to this where you have only one carbonyl group. So if you compare the two alpha position, this will be less acidic, and there is no concept no problem of steric crowding. So definitely here the LDA will attack and will give you this alkylation or arylation at this position. Okay, so this will be your product. Now next reaction, if you see this alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compound, and the LDA and trimethyl chloride is given to you. So first of all, whatever reagent is given to you, you have to solve by using that reagent. Okay, so LDA, we know it attacks, abstract the proton from the less acidic side. So at alpha position, you have only one alpha position here, so it will abstract from here, and generation of carbanion, and definitely the enolate formation will be there. Okay, and now since the trimethyl chloride is there, so the oxygen minus, being the silicon as a electropositive, okay, so this O minus will attack to the silicon, and by the removal of the Cl. Okay, so basically this is the proton protection reaction. Oxygen is protected by using the trimethyl chloride. Okay, so that the if the reaction is assuming to occur on this position, it will not occur, and you can do the reaction on the other side. Okay, so it is a protection. Okay, so next, so you can notice all our examples are having the carbonyl so far. Okay, here again you have ester, and with respect to this carbonyl, you have a one alpha position here, so definitely abstraction of a proton from here. You have this CH2 and two hydrogens are there, and you can notice here they have given 2 LDA. Okay, so double equivalent of this reactant, or if it is 1:2 ratio is there, so both the protons will be abstracted with the help of LDA, one by one, and you can notice two alkylating reagent are also given. So you will get the finally the product, both hydrogen replaced by this alkylation, and of course one will be above the plane, another will be below the plane to avoid the steric crowding. Okay, and see this structure as well. Here you have only one alpha position here, this the other is having double bond, so and this alpha position is less acidic proton, because on the other side next to it you have two methyl group, which will the two are electron donating group, which makes it less stable. Okay, carbanion, so it is less acidic. The LDA will abstract the proton from this carbon and will do the alkylation at this alpha carbon. Now in this structure you can notice at one alpha position you have the aromatic ring. Okay, but you have one more hydrogen here. On the other side it is free. Okay, as we know, LDA being a bulky group, it attacks always from the less hindered side. Okay, so you can notice here, this is the less hindered side. So two conditions we can assume: LDA in the presence of THF, tetrahydrofuran, is a solvent, protonated solvent at minus 70 degrees centigrade, lowering the temperature. Okay, and other condition we will also see. So in this condition, LDA, we know it will abstract from the less hindered, so the enolate ion will form from this side, and this will be your enolate form, right? And further the reagent are given like alkylating reagent or trimethyl chloride, so the reaction will occur in the same manner like we have done. In the case of potassium hydride or sodium hydroxide, KOH, at minus 20 degrees centigrade, which is higher than 70 degree, okay, 70 degrees centigrade, what will happen? It will attack from the side where the phenyl ring is there, because it is not a bulky, okay, it is not the bulky base, so it will attack the more acidic, you can say, proton. Okay, so conventional traditional bases abstract the this acidic proton, and the reaction product will be this. So this is called the thermodynamically controlled product, while with LDA you will get the kinetically controlled product here. Okay, thermodynamically controlled product. So we have written here, choosing a low temperature and use of base. Okay, it favors a strong base, favors the kinetic product, while weaker bases give you thermodynamically controlled product. So this you have to keep in your mind, because in competitions or in MSc this kind of question comes, which are a little tricky. Usually you assume the reaction to occur here, as you are familiar that base abstract the most acidic proton, but you should know the role of LDA, that it abstract the less acidic proton, and if it is causing the steric hindrance, it will always occur from the less steric hindered side. Okay, Now this reaction, you can see I have written here carbonyl compound having a terminal R group. Now here R, in one case we can assume it may be OCH3, okay, OCH3 or any small substitution. In the presence of aldehyde at minus 78 degrees centigrade, which is a very lower temperature, it will abstract the proton. We know alpha position is only 1 here, so it will abstract from here and enolate formation will occur. So there is now two possibility with respect to this double bond. This particular terminal methyl group along the double bond, either it will be opposite to this OLI, okay, or it may be on the same side. As you can notice the green arrow I have made, that the two are opposite and two are same. If two are on the same side, okay, the two bulky group are on the same side, it is considered cis, and if two are opposite, it is considered trans. Now the two products are going to form in this case, but which is going to be major and which is going to be minor, that we have to see. So in this particular case, you have major where the two are opposite to each other rather than the two are on the same side. Okay, so the trans is going to be major and the cis is going to be minor. So notice whenever you have R as a small group, okay, small group, then the trans is going to be always major. That is, E isomer is going to be major. That you can make a note. Those who are attempting any competitive exam, you don't have time to solve. So if you have written this statement for a small group, okay, or at alpha position, you will get trans as a major product. So justification is given here. It is assumed that in the transition state it forms the six-membered transition state to form the enolate, and you can notice if this R and CH3, this R, okay, this is R OCH3 and this CH3, right, in here. So they are on the same side. Some kind of allylic strain is there. You can notice here this allylic, okay, allylic strain is there between this, but it is not as much. So therefore it is going to form the trans isomer here. Okay, it is going to form trans isomer here. So this justification is required only for the MSc students. Otherwise, those who are attending competitive exams, for them you don't need this. Okay, this is required only for the students, that MSc student, where they are asking the justification. Okay, justify why the trans is measured in this particular case. Then you have to present this intermediate. Other side, you can notice at the terminal alpha position you have a tertiary butyl group. We know tertiary butyl group is a bulky group. Okay, now in first case it was a small group, now it is a bulky group. Conditions are given to you. Again, two enolate formation. It may be the two are cis, like methyl and OLI are close to each other, and it may be the two are opposite to each other. Okay, if the two OLI and methyl is opposite, trans, and if it is on same side, it is cis. So you can also see that in the first case, like methyl and OLI, this OCH3, it is not a bulky group, the methyl can be on the same side, right? It can be on the same side. So therefore this particular isomer is the major amount. Okay, while here you can notice tertiary butyl group and this methyl should be opposite to each other, right? Because the two are the tertiary butyl is bulky. If you draw like this, it will cause the 1,3 diaxial interaction. Okay, so that we will see here. So here the cis isomer is going to be major if you have R as a bulky group. So the explanation is given here. If the CH3 is, you can notice, is opposite to R. Okay, so this, okay, this condition opposite to R. So some kind of 1,3 diaxial interaction is there between the methyl and the isopropyl amide, right? You can see the interaction is there, 1,3 diaxial interaction. Fine. So in this case, you can notice, right? So that is with respect to the this LDA. Okay, with respect to the LDA, this here, and here it was with respect to the same molecule. So this explanation is there only for the MSc students. For those who are attempting the question, any competitive exam, for them you just keep a note in your mind that if R is small, the trans is going to be major, and trans with respect to the OLI. Okay, either you can note with respect to OLI, or you can note OCS3, and CS3 can be on the same side because OCS3 is small, right? So trans is going to be major. If they ask trans, then you have to write trans with respect to this. Okay, it's not cis. You are not comparing with this OCS3. And in case if it is of a bulky group, the methyl and tertiary has to be opposite to each other. So if you compare with OLI, the two are cis to each other. So cis is going to be major. So basically conclusion is, if R is bulky group, cis is going to be major. If R is a small group, trans is going to be major. Okay, and since we have written this statement which we have already discussed. Okay, and the explanation for MSc students are given here. If they ask you that one is causing allylic strain, other is causing the 1,3-diaxial interaction. Fine. So this is the last problem for today's discussion. You can notice here we have a cyclopropane substituted by acidic group. Here they have mentioned 2 LDA. Okay, it means 2 times it is going to abstract the proton in the presence of THF and 0 degree centigrade temperature. You have alkylating agent, and finally the hydrolysis condition is given. So one by one we will go. So first of all, we know the role of LDA. It will abstract the less acidic proton. So instead of carboxylic hydrogen, it will abstract the this alpha carbon proton, which will create a carbanion here, right? And once this carbanion is generated, it will attack from SN2 mechanism to this alkyl reagent, right? We have already learned the mechanism, so I have not drawn here. So basically you will get this alkylation at this alpha position having 4 carbon chain, 1 2 3 4, right? Bromine will release. So here again, since 2 LDA is given, so one more equivalent of LDA is left. The terminal from the terminal carbon, one of the proton will be abstracted and generate the carbanion, right? And since the acidic conditions are given, being electronegative, the carbonyl oxygen will be protonated in the presence of acid, so you have the OH plus. So basically it will increase, the acidic condition increases the electrophilicity, so that the reaction will occur in the forward direction. So this carbanion will occur, the nucleophile will attack, okay, from carbonyl carbon, followed by the satisfaction of this positive charge, and you will get the this kind of structure here. Now we know the oxygen lone pair is there, and still the medium is acidic. It will take the proton because rather than OH, H2O is a better leaving group, and you know how this water is releasing from here. Okay, and in that way you are getting the final product here, substituted cyclohexanone. So from this starting material you are getting ultimately this structure. So if you are familiar of the role and the mechanism and the reagent's role, it is really easy to pursue the chemical reaction. So I hope that you understood the concept about the LDA, and it will be helpful for all the students, either MSc or any competitive exam like NET, GATE, JAM exam or GATE examination. So that's it for today. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.